Hello there YouTube, my name is Truggy and today I'm bringing you Question Time 2. Today I'm playing, Conquest Assault on Wake Island, and this has to be an apology off the bat actually. Someone asked to see some Wake Island gameplay. More than happy to oblige. Unfortunately I can't find your comment, so I can't give you a shout out. I hope you enjoy the gameplay, I hope this is what you're looking for. As you can see, I found myself in a helicopter, and not to spoil anything which happens in the video, as you'll know if you've seen any of my other helicopter gameplays, you know I like to fancy myself as a bit of a helicopter pilot. So I hope you enjoy the gameplay. I won't say anything more than that. But today I'm answering some more of your great questions. I uploaded about a month or so now actually. Question Time Video 1. Essentially that was myself and a few of the guys from my squad answering your questions, be it Battlefield or anything else. And essentially this is going to be answering the questions from that video. So if you have any questions that you'd like me to answer, be it Battlefield or anything else really, give me a shout, leave a comment, more than happy to answer it. So anyway, let's get going in the questions today. And the first one comes from Fallout Man 112, and they ask, if there's one thing in Battlefield 3 that I would add or fix, what would it be? Now that is a really difficult question. If it could be two things, it would be much easier, but I think if it could only be one thing, it would have to be a fix. Basically, it's the only real problematic issue I have with Battlefield 3 in and out, and that is balance. It's not a matter of sort of one weapon doing more damage than another or anything like that, it's team balance. And this has become quite prevalent actually over the Christmas break, obviously, as new players have been, been getting the game, that kind of things. Basically, there have been a lot of very one-sided games, and it's basically not made for a particularly enjoyable experience. Essentially, for instance, I have found myself on teams where I've been the only colonel, and the whole enemy team have been colonels, and the rest of the players on my team are lesser ranks, or vice versa. Essentially, games seem to go either one way, the other, or are perfectly balanced. And basically, I've been finding myself in a lot of games which are not perfectly balanced. Now, I know that the matchmaking and everything works around the skill statistic, which itself is quite, unstable. No, that's the wrong word. Variable, dynamic is a better word. Essentially, it's a combination of your KD, win-loss, who you've played against, and it sort of evaluates into a nice number to try and evaluate how good of a Battlefield player you are. The problem is that I think that stat isn't really up to the job. I think that someone who has spent 100 hours, say, playing Battlefield 3 will play, infinitely better than someone who's only played it for 10 minutes, And, in that 100 hours, obviously, they'll have unlocked weapons, they'll have gained knowledge and stuff, which just cannot be represented in the statistic. I think, in future, if I could actually, go in and change something in the code, it would be to use the score per minute stat as the balancing tool, because a high score per minute means that that player obviously is playing the game, they're playing it very well to get obviously a very high score per minute score, and it's basically an indicator if they're a decent Battlefield player, which is what you want. It's tried and tested, it works. I just don't see why we don't use that. So that's what I would change, and basically that goes for sort of games, in progress, as it were, as well. I've been in games where I've been like 3 people on my team, including myself, and there's 4 or 5, and people have been joined on the enemy team, and I kind of go, that ain't right. You should stop the game or refresh it or something. Balance it. I mean, if it's people joining on friends, well, okay, I can kind of understand that, but still, you should balance it out a bit better than that. So just a little tweak there, and that would be my major grievance out the way. If I could add something as well, that would make things a lot easier. In short, it would be another DLC map pack, and basically it would be back to modern combat. I've harked on about it before, but my sort of introduction to Battlefield as a series was Battlefield 2 Modern Combat, and basically there were 16 of the sweetest maps you could ever imagine, and basically I'd just love to go back and visit them again. I swear that some of the maps I spent more time on them than I have done playing whole games. I'm not joking. I'd just love to see them come back. So that's what I would change, that's what I would add. Thank you very much, Fallout Man, for the question. Great question. Now my next question is very much on like a hot topic, and it comes from, Blackwater 1986, is echoed by Cynics Extraordinaire and Higher Tier Gaming, and that's essentially, do I have any tips or any pointers for Squad Deathmatch? Now, in short, yes I do. And in addition to that, I think that actually, this is kind of fixed, but basically, Squad Deathmatch is not particularly working very well in Battlefield 3 at the minute. It's not quite completely there. I won't talk about that, well, now. I don't think I really have the time, but essentially, first of all, do not feel bad that you'll be losing squad deathmatch games. There's something about the game mode, it isn't working like it used to. I mean, for example, Battlefield Bad Company 2, I used to love playing it because, you know, we could join in as a squad, we would get on the ground, we'd, you know, be able to do work. It would be good fun. This, we get split up, the games are, you know, imbalanced. As I've talked about, I just go, what a waste. But anyway, it might not look it on the face of it, but squad deathmatch is actually, like many things in Battlefield, a territory, you know, holding control game mode. And basically, there are two types of teams, or two types of squads, I should say, which will win squad deathmatch. They'll either be the squad of players who hold an area, you know, an important area, a high traffic area, something like that, on a map, hold it down, and anyone who's an enemy who enters it, kaput, dead. Or they'll be the type of team who rolls round the map and just try and hold the whole map to themselves, and, you know, try and dislodge people. That is basically how you've got to play the game mode. You've either got to lock down an area, make sure that no one can, you know, be safe in there, you know, if they're not in your team, or you need to club together with a group of people and just try and kill everything which moves. Now, the second approach, really, you need to have, you know, squad mates, whatnot, who you know, who you can trust, and more importantly, you can talk to in real time with a microphone. The problem with that, though, is, as of course, as I kind of mentioned, that, well, my experience, you join squad deathmatch, your squad, as it were, when you join the game, gets split up. So my tip there is actually you can kind of reunite your squad in game. If you, well, this is on the PS3, if you hit start and go to squad and team, you can actually switch team, and that will rotate you through the squad, and of course, space permitting, you'll be able to group back up with your squad mates. Once obviously you've done that, you'll start to play together as a team, and if you know how each other play, that will take you a long way to winning the game. The primary approach, I'd probably say, is the easiest, especially if you are on a team and you don't know anybody, or you don't have a microphone or anything like that. So basically, you know, look at the map, you use a bit of your map knowledge from just playing the game, and, you know, you find a good spot, set yourself up, work as a team, you know, call people out, spot people, whatnot, and basically deny the enemy, you know, use of that area. That will take you a long way. So, two kind of short little tips there to hopefully get you a long way on the way. It is worth the work. Obviously, the reason people are going after squad deathmatch kills, or squad deathmatch wins, I should say, is to unlock the L85A2. And in fact, CCX Warfare asks, what do I think of the L85A2? Basically, that's the weapon you unlock for winning 5 squad deathmatch, or winning 5 squad deathmatches, along with a few other things in the assignment. And essentially, I love the thing. However, what I will say very briefly is it's a Marmite rifle. You will either love it or you'll hate it. Essentially, if you're a fan of like the F2000, the AEK, the FAMAS, very high fire rate, you won't get on with it. It's a very slow firing weapon. It's quite methodical, it's very accurate as a bonus, but you know, if you want to put rounds down range, you know, you won't get on with it. If you can work with slow firing weapons, you'll adore it. And I adore it, it's well worth the work, trust me on that. So, great question, thank you very much. Now, my next question will probably round out this video, because it's quite a controversial one. And Project Renegade number 4 asks, what are my thoughts on the shotguns in the game, and the types of ammunition you can use with them? And of course the elephant in the room here is USAS-12 frag rounds, I think. So I'll answer this in 2 parts. First of all, the shotguns are perfect. As with a lot of actually other stuff in the game, the shotguns are absolutely spot on. You can only use them at close range, and if you're complaining about being killed by a shotgun at close range, you should probably think about, you know, the situation you were just in. Shotguns do not work at range, that's where you need to engage them if you want to beat them. So I have no problem with the shotguns themselves. The ammunition, however, and the combinations, more importantly, is where the issue lies. So, frag rounds are, you know, the hot topic here, the thing we need to be aware of, and personally I think the frag rounds are fine on their own. They do not do that very much damage, they do very high suppression damage though, as it were. So I got no problem with that. The problem is the combination of that and the USAS-12 fully automatic shotgun, it makes it overpowered. I'm going to say it, overpowered. And cheap, more importantly, I'd say as well, in terms of, you know, if I get killed by someone with a USAS-12 and frag rounds, I kind of go, really? Is that what you had to resort to? Basically, the USAS-12 with frag rounds turns into like a mini rocket launcher, which I'm guessing is not intended. But it's very hard to beat, even at long range, if the person becomes very proficient with the shotgun and the frag rounds. Basically, I think they either need to be removed from the automatic shotguns, and just left for the semi-automatic, so frag rounds on the 870 MCS, the Dow 12, that kind of thing. Or the USAS-12 needs a severe nerf, so it becomes, well, a lot harder to use. That's my view on it. It's a pity. That and the balancing, I guess, are the only two real problems I've got with Battlefield 3 at the minute, but knowing DICE, the way they support the game and the franchise, I've got no fear that they'll put it right. So guys, unfortunately I've run out of time, and I've got several more questions. I'll answer them next video, that's a promise. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the gameplay, and if you have any questions yourself, please do leave them in the comments below. More than happy to answer them. As always, thank you very much for watching. If you could leave a like, dislike, if you thought the video was good or not, that'd be great. Just leave a comment in general if you want to say hello. And if you want to subscribe, you can always can. Anyway, guys, I'm the Truggy, and I'll see you out on the battlefield.